Well, good morning, everybody. It is the morning after with Nick and Big J. Welcome to Tuesday, the 25th day of March, 2025. My name is Nick. There's Big J right over there knocking things around.
Yeah.
Wow. Welcome to the big show. We certainly appreciate you getting up early. And boy, howdy, Big J, is it going to pay off today? Agree or disagree?
Yeah, it is going to pay off.
Because a lot of the things that we have to give you today, a lot of the information that we are going to dole out that you are going to think that's important information, is all going to happen before 7 o'clock this morning, Big J. Because before 7 o'clock this morning on this very show, you will know the lineup for XFest 2025, Big J. It's a very big day. We're very excited for it.
80% of it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure your math is right, but absolutely. It makes sense to me.
It's a guesstimation.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. But it is certainly one of those deals where you're going to understand exactly how it's going to happen, all the details and everything that you need to make sure that you are putting together all your plans for XFest 2025, and we are excited to roll out for you. As with all XFest, Big J, it has been I would say the last week has been pure, unadulterated chaos. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, it usually is.
Yeah. And so lots of moving pieces, lots of paperwork to be signed, lots of money to change hands, Big J, to make it all happen. And we are excited to present it to you. And Big J, hopefully you're excited to present it to people.
Very, man.
So that's exciting. Anything else going on in the Big J world?
Rode my motorcycle to work. It was glorious and chilly. Forgot how cold it was.
Yeah, it's cold out there in the mornings. I think you'll be happy when you leave for home, though, I think.
Yeah. We turned off the heat in the house.
How did it feel?
Well, the house got really hot. It's like 75. I was like, I'm sweating in here.
But
open some windows.
And then you got really cold on the way into work. So it's feast or famine for you, my friend.
Yeah. That's how it is sometimes.
And of course, because of previous announcements and things that we have to do today, we are going to bump Streaming Dumbass. It's still going to happen. It's just not going to happen until later on in the show.
Which interesting.
Could mean a whole new batch of people that have never heard the segment before ignoring it or taking part in it. One of the two, Big J. And so that's going to happen over the course of the show today. We got tickets to Under Oath and Machine Head to give away over the course of the program today. So we're also going to talk about the Albertsons Boise Open today, Big J.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's a big, big, big show. And we don't want to take up any more of your time because we've got some big announcements to get to before we hit 7 o'clock this morning. So let's start with some music. How about some Green Day? Kicking off the morning after with Nick and Big J on the X.
Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
An eventful day at the Boise airport yesterday, and not in a great way for several passengers. A couple of, not one, but two commercial flights experienced some mechanical difficulties at the Boise airport on Monday that caused some disruptions, but thankfully no injuries. A United Airlines flight traveling from San Francisco to Bozeman, Montana, had to be diverted to Boise at 2:27 p.m. because of an unspecified mechanical issue, but needed to make an equivalent of an emergency landing. And then an Airbus A319 carrying 108 passengers, and 6 crew members landed safely, reached the gate, and all passengers got to disembark. And then a separate incident that involved a Horizon Airlines flight that basically went from San Francisco to Boise had to land at 1:31 p.m. with locked brakes. That prevented it from taxiing to a gate. Could not roll once it landed down, and landed apparently pretty roughly. Passenger buses had to transport the 76 passengers and 4 crew members to the airport terminal. Once again, no injuries, but a couple of eventful landings, Big J, at the Boise airport yesterday.
It looks like it was their day.
But luckily, nobody was hurt. Let's hope, though, that when it's their day, it ends up like that everywhere else.
Just severely inconvenient.
I'm trying to, have you ever had, like, a rough landing when you landed on an airplane where you're like, ooh, Mayday, holy cow?
Yeah, probably.
But nothing that sticks out in your memory, then it couldn't have been that hard. But I wonder what it's like to have, the brakes lock up. I mean, that's got to be a pretty freaky experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you can't move, and they're like, ladies and gentlemen.
Time to walk to the terminal.
We're not going anywhere. Over. Kentucky men's coach Mark Pope is happy that his team made the Sweet 16. His wallet, probably happier. The accomplishment activated a clause in his contract that gives him an automatic extension worth about $6.25 million and a $50,000 bonus. He's going to need that bonus to pay some bills because he promised to give fans gas money if they drove from Kentucky to Milwaukee, where the team played during the first weekend. We will see if he backs that up. And I don't know, what do you ask for receipts in that situation, Big J?
I guess.
If you're going to want my money, I'm going to have to see your gas mileage from Kentucky to Milwaukee to make sure that you drove and didn't fly, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm sure it's just a fun thing and nobody will take him up on it. Or Big J, it is 2025, so I'm sure lots of people will try. One of the two.
God help us if they don't.
The Amazon Prime show Legally Blonde prequel that we talked about a couple weeks ago because they cast June Diane Raphael as the mom of Elle Woods, now has a dad too, Big J, Tom Everett Scott. Does it make you feel old to know that Tom Everett Scott is playing the father to a young college student at this point? You don't know who Tom Everett Scott is?
Yeah, I mean, I have to see him.
Never mind.
Should I feel old?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on how much you enjoyed that thing you do. Are you familiar with that particular?
Oh, yeah.
He was I would call him the star of the movie. That
he seems like an old guy.
It's centered around, well, I mean,
he's 54.
I know. It's what I'm telling you. I mean, when that thing you do, he was probably 26 or something like that. The show is going to focus on Elle Woods' life during her high school years, focusing on life experience that shaped her, of course, into the iconic character that you can't kick out of your memory from the first film. You were a Legally Blonde fan, is that correct?
I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Did you enjoy the sequel, Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde?
I did not see that.
Okay. So you jumped off the Elle Woods train right out the gate.
Sorry, yeah.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I did the same thing, I believe. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. Hey, you want to get started announcing XFest 2025?
Yeah.
Then we will do that next on the X Rocks. Blink 182, all the small things here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. It is a very large day. We get to announce the details for the big show we like to call XFest. XFest 2025 is happening. Let's get started with some of the details.
It's another 100.3, the X concert announcement.
Big J, don't give me any of the bands because we want to tickle people's ass with a feather, but give me all the details for XFest 2025.
Well, the details is going down October 1st out at the Ford Idaho Center Amphitheater. So that is happening, Nick. I don't think I got the details on where tickets are going to go sale, but I'm going to guess Friday at 10 a.m.
God, you nailed it, dude. It's like you've been doing this for a while. Friday at 10 a.m. is when tickets go on sale. Of course, we are going to have a ridiculous amount of tickets to give away, so you're going to want to continue to listen to make sure you're good to go. If you're paying attention or you don't know, October 1st is what day of the week, Big J?
Wednesday.
That is absolutely correct. So we're right smack dab in the middle of the week again for XFest 2025, but we are excited to have it go down at the Ford Idaho Center Amphitheater. Let's get you to artist number one.
XFest 2025 Artist Alert. October 1st at the Ford Idaho Center. Playing XFest 2025. Dead Poets Society.
There you go, the first band that we have announced to play XFest 2025. That is Dead Poets Society. Big J, give the details and the venue one more time.
Yep, October 1st. It's a Wednesday, friends, out at the Ford Idaho Center Amphitheater. Tickets going on sale officially Friday at 10 a.m. Dead Poets Society opening things up there for the most part. A band who leans into the rich history of the X's alternative side and melds it really well with hard rock. Love these guys. They've been here a couple times, and this is going to be awesome.
Yeah, just played a sold-out show with Highly Suspect at the Knitting Factory not too long ago. Very, very happy we're able to bring those guys back and give you an opportunity to see them if you haven't before. But Dead Poets Society definitely on the bands that you need to watch list. They've already got 2 top 10 hits underneath their belt, and now they're coming back to Boise, and we're very excited for it. Agree or disagree, Big J?
I totally agree.
All right, there's band number one. We got more to announce. We are going to do some of that next on the X Rocks themselves. Papa Roach, Even If It Kills Me, here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Well, we know some of the details, Big J. We know that it's going to be October 1st, right?
Yep.
We know it's going to have Dead Poets Society, correct?
Yep.
We know it's XFest 2025, right?
Yeah.
Should we give people another band?
Let's do it.
All right, your wish is our demand.
XFest 2025 Artist Alert. October 1st at the Ford Idaho Center. Playing XFest 2025. Asking Alexandria.
First time playing an XFest, that is Asking Alexandria. That is Dark Void here on The Morning After with Nick and Big J. We have a wonderful relationship with Asking Alexandria over the years. Big J, really, really excited we finally get to make them an XFest band. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And, man, I mean, them up on a huge stage is going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah, it'll be great. Wonderful night in October. October 1st is the day. And Big J, we have one more band to announce. Should we get that out of the way, sir?
Yeah, we probably should.
All right, here comes your headliner for XFest 2025.
XFest 2025 Artist Alert. October 1st at the Ford Idaho Center. Playing XFest 2025. Chevelle.
That is Chevelle. That is The Red here on The Morning After with Nick and Big J. Ladies and gentlemen, that is XFest 2025. We have everything you need to know to make sure it is part of your 2025 concert calendar as we celebrate the 30th anniversary of the X. Big J, please, for the love of God, all the details.
Yeah, it's all going down October 1st, Nick, out at the Ford Idaho Center Amphitheater. That's a Wednesday, friends. Tickets going on sale Friday at 10 a.m. And we've got a great lineup. Dead Poet Society kicking things off, Asking Alexandria and Chevelle, the headliner, and more. We are adding another band and a local band, Nick.
Yeah.
Battle of the Bands is coming back.
It is. And, if I can get on my soapbox for just a second.
Soap it up.
As we celebrate the 30th anniversary of the X, I feel like, there are a lot of things that we could do to try to put together an XFest, but this is something that I feel like truly encapsulates the formula of what the X is and what it has been for the last 30 years. Starting first and foremost, as Big J mentioned, we're bringing back for the first time in 3 years the local band element to XFest. If you have listened to this station at all, hopefully by now you've picked up that one of the big pieces of fabric in the X's DNA is the local music scene here in the Treasure Valley. We have leaned on it for years and years and years. We have supported it to the best of our abilities. We are trying to give local bands a voice, an opportunity to be heard on the radio. We are fans of local music, and so to bring that element back to XFest is a very important element that I think it's been missing the last couple of years. It'll be great to bring that back in and showcase an amazing local talent on a wonderful and beautiful huge stage at the Ford Idaho Center Amphitheater and get them to play alongside some really, really fantastic bands. Another part of the X's DNA has been introducing you to new music over the years, and Dead Poet Society cover that aspect of things. A fairly new band on the scene. While they have several, again, like we said, hits underneath their belt, they are pretty new, and it's a band that we have been with from the start because we heard them and we're like, man, this is a vibe that we really, really dig. And so an opportunity to maybe introduce you to that band if you haven't seen them before is another key element of XFest. Then you have Asking Alexandria, which is a band that Big J we help break in this particular market. We have a long history with them. We've had a chance to do some really cool things with Danny in other projects as well as Asking Alexandria. It's one of those things where we have been along for the ride with that band since they started and have a really good relationship of well over a decade of playing Asking Alexandria. And then you have your headliner, which is Chevelle, which I don't know if you can have more history with a band than the X has with Chevelle. One of our very first free X shows that we ever did that kicked off the series with Chevelle. It's a band that's been around for 25 years that has hit after hit after hit after hit. And we have an opportunity to bring them around. And so I think it just really runs down the gamut of what makes the X, from a band that you consider to be legendary, I think, in the format of rock and Chevelle, all the way down to brand new music to local music. Top to bottom of that bill, I feel like it's X to a T, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Chevelle, I mean, one of the OGs of the Free X Show series, God, way back. I mean, I remember we gave away actually all the tickets in one felt swoop, Nick, at the Albertsons parking lot at McMillan and Eagle Road. And the entire parking lot was filled with people who wanted to go to the show. It was just one of those things that is so important to the DNA of this radio station, is the relationship between the bands that are here and the people who love the music. And It's going to be a great celebration on October 1st of all of those things. Can't wait.
And as always, we are working on some really cool special things behind the scenes, trying to bring back some of the coolest things that made XFest. As we work with these bands who we have wonderful relationships with, and we're going to see if we can't bring back some things that you remember from Past, that we can kind of reignite for the 30th anniversary of the radio station. So just know we're going to be doing a lot of really cool things with all these bands, and we're very excited to add the local element to it again. So it's going to be a very, very good time. So get ready for XFest 2025. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Some important stuff is on the way on the X Rocks.
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Well, Big J, it's the end of an era, my friend, as 23andMe. It was the company that kind of kickstarted the nationwide obsession with genetic testing and finding out your background. They're filing for bankruptcy, my friend. They filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection last night, and of course, that's a big deal because they've got a lot of subscribers, Big J. People that jump on there and where a lot of the ancestry that people track down can be found on the 23andMe website, and nobody really knows what's going to happen with the millions of customers that are attached to that particular database. If it shuts down, I'm guessing that information goes away. Now, over the last couple of months, 23andMe has tried to take their company private because, well, they've been public and it hasn't been going very well because they've tried to establish a sustainable business model. And what happened was they were the first company on the block that provided genetic testing. And then a bunch of offshoots jumped up and kind of made the marketplace a little bit crowded. And 23andMe were like, oh, we started this. Oh, nobody cares. Oh. And now they're gone, Big J. Capitalism at its best.
Well, here's what happened. They wanted to, their focus was on the genetic and the disease parts of things that might be in your, in your family history. And then they wanted to try to roll in a subscription type of thing where it would be like you would pay a subscription and they would give you health advice and things like that to counter some of those genetic things. And that's where people weren't too interested in.
And nobody cares. And once again, nobody cares about how to get healthier. They want to know if they're related to somebody famous. Tell me who I'm famous that I'm related to. Otherwise, get the hell out of here. And so 23andMe is struggling. Although, who knows? I mean, these days now that when a company files for Chapter 11, doesn't necessarily mean that they're going away fully. Just maybe a dialed-back version, or they disappear for a while before they relaunch and rebrand themselves. So you never know what's going to happen with this particular side of things. But if you're a member, it may be something you might want to be concerned about.
Here's the thing I don't understand about this. So the CEO has quit. She's not the CEO anymore. But she's still on the board of directors. And I've never understood that whole thing. Like, how is that?
Well, they're two separate positions.
Right, I understand that. But, I mean, they essentially fire the CEO. But the CEO is still on the board of directors.
Well, she quit. She didn't get fired.
Well, I think
you ever watch Succession? You never watched Succession?
No, but I'm pretty sure they probably like, hey, it's time for you to leave.
Well, she resigned, and so staying on again, a board is just a small voice in what is a majority vote to carry through any particular type of motion. Well, I mean, you don't think, but you realize they're two separate jobs, right?
Yeah, I understand that, okay. But if you're the CEO, you probably they want to get rid of you. You probably shouldn't be on the board anymore either.
Well, I mean, do you know they wanted to get rid of her, or did she step down because she wanted to step down? Or are you just jumping to conclusions because they were conclusions? Okay, well then. Maybe we're
But I'm going to guess that they're in bankruptcy. She might have something to do with this problem.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? She's certainly stepping down from the CEO side of things. But yeah, it is corporate America, Big J. Who pretends to know any of that stuff?
You do.
No, I don't. But I do know they're two separate things, and one can do one job and step away and still have another. The Chesapeake Bay Sox is a minor league baseball team in Maryland. They hopped on the trend of doing a fun renaming stunt like our Boise Hawks do with the Boise Baconators once a year. They're going to be the Chesapeake Oyster Catchers for one game. The rebrand also includes a new logo of a catcher's mitt with an oyster inside. Unfortunately, Big J, that logo looks a lot like Private Parts. And so now the image is starting to go viral, and the Bay Sox are starting to back away from the oyster catchers. The team did figure it out quickly. They are donating all 10% of all the Oyster Catchers merchandise sales to a cervical cancer charity. So there's going to be some good coming out of this as well. But, Big J, if I were you, I'd pick up my Oyster Catchers merch fairly early because I don't know how long it's going to be around.
Might be worth something.
Do you know who Linda Cardellini is, Big J?
Of course, man.
She is set to take on the lead role of Pamela Voorhees in the upcoming Friday the 13th prequel series at Peacock. It is titled Crystal Lake. The show is going to dive into Pamela's backstory, exploring her vendetta against the counselors at Camp Crystal Lake following her son's Jason tragic drowning. Cardellini, best known, of course, for Freaks and Geeks, Dead to Me. She was also in Scooby-Doo, Brokeback Mountain, the Avengers franchise. The original Friday the 13th film was released back in 1980. That kicked off the huge series of films featuring an iconic hockey mask-wearing slasher named Jason Voorhees. But if you watch the original, you remember Pamela was the actual villain, yeah. And then the Jason thing kind of came later. The question then becomes, Big J, are people going to be interested in a series that really doesn't include one of the most iconic horror villains of all time in Jason Voorhees? This is her story and the story that doesn't include Jason. Do you think people will care?
Man, it's hard to say. It depends on how good it is. It could be really good. I'd let her kill me.
You would?
Absolutely.
On the record.
On the record.
All right. Well,
maybe, I mean, the tease that he might show up, and he shows up at some point, right? Like at the very end or something.
Maybe they can. I mean, maybe they can fast forward to some particular thing or flash forward to some particular scenes and him being a part of it. But no, this apparently is a prequel to all of it. So I don't know how. Wow. Unless maybe I don't think it would be season one. I think they'd be digging themselves a hole in season one, maybe down the road a little bit. But then again, at like one point, I don't know. I really don't know. But we do know that you would allow Linda Cardellini to kill you.
Who wouldn't?
Linda, you have your mission. Morning After with Nick and nice. Big J. You're the one who offered it up. We're going to go to hell. It's happening next on the X Rocks.
Light stories that are incredibly f***ed up. Oh man, we're going to hell.
What the hell is this?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X Rocks.
As if you needed any reason not to exercise, we're still going to give you one here for We're Going to Hell.
Thank God.
You are welcome, everybody. Revolves around a gentleman in his 20s. Physically fit, likes to work out every day, Big J. You know what that's like.
No.
And so he and his buddies meet at the gym every single day, and they work out together. You know, they feel the burn. They have themselves a good time. When one of his friends sits down with him and goes, hey. I bet you can't do 2,000 squats in one workout session. And this dude's like, come on, man. I live for squats. Leg day? You got to be kidding me, bro. Look at me.
Never skip leg day.
You know I can do 2,000 squats. And he's like, no, I don't think you can, man. And he goes, bet. So they sit down and they watch one of their friends knock out, sure enough, Big J, 2,000 squats in one workout session. That's impressive. Agree or disagree?
Yeah.
A lot of squats, man. So obviously he's in very good shape, right?
Very good.
Nailed it, wins the bet. They decide to go out, have a good time after working out, and enjoy the night on the town. Guy didn't have to pay for a drink or a crumb of food. You understand? He wakes up the next day, and his legs, which had never failed him before, started to become really, really sore. And as the day goes on, he's like, oh my God. My legs are swollen like hell, dude.
Damn.
I got all sorts of swell during this workout. But it's weird that I can't bend them. And then as he's going to the bathroom, Big J, his urine turns a really dark brown.
Oh, no.
And I don't know if you've ever peed different colors before, but some colors are good and some colors are bad. If it comes out dark brown, not great. And then before too long, Big J, he's like, oh my God, I can't go to the bathroom at all. And also, not a very good sign.
Red alert, dude.
Dark brown alert. Right away, he goes to the hospital. Very, very smart. And the hospital looks him over and go, yeah, you've got a really serious, potentially deadly medical condition that causes your muscle tissue to break down and enter the bloodstream. That's not
squatitis.
It's called radinlitis, if that makes any kind of sense. Radinlitis. I'm not sure you'll ever use that word, but in case you need to know, that's what it is. It essentially is like very, very serious kidney failure. You understand?
Yeah.
And if left untreated, it will cause cardiac problems and even death. In this particular case, this guy did so many squats that his leg muscles began to break down as a result of that physical effort, which caused a steep increase in levels of creatine and urea. Now, basically what that means was it caused his kidneys to shut down, and then the organs started to dissolve inside of his body. That's not great.
Oh, my God. Dissolve?
Yes. So they threw him on dialysis right away. And, of course, he's going to have to undergo that for a serious amount of time because dialysis isn't something that, perks you right up. It's a long-term kind of solution to a very serious problem. And so it's going to take some time for his kidneys to heal. His kidney function's still reduced right now, but at least he can go to the bathroom, Big J. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's going to take 3 months to a year to get this guy back to hopefully what is 100%, and that's if the dialysis works. So not a great move to take on that bet. He did it, but boy, howdy, did he pay the price in the process. You understand?
Yeah.
So maybe next time your buddy makes a bet that you do a ridiculously straining physical task in a short amount of time, you say, hard pass, bro. I don't want to pee dark brown tomorrow, if that's all right with you. And I don't need my kidneys shutting down on me, please and thank you.
Yeah, just do a regular amount of squats.
Right. So now this is a built-in excuse if you want to avoid exercise. If somebody goes, hey, man, you want to work out? You go, you know what? No. I don't want my kidneys to shut down. I think I'll have the extra large value meal today. And it'll make you feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry about the cardiac arrest until a couple years down the road. It's going to come for you anyway. You understand what I'm saying, Big J?
It's got to.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. Very special version of Streaming Dumbass. That's next on the X Rocks.
From the new to the old, we're digging deep into the depths of Netflix. It's Streaming Dumbass on the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Yeah, you are not stuck in a time warp. We had to announce XFest 2025 this morning, so we are doing a very special later version of Streaming Dumbass. Big J, if I have listened to the Morning After forever but I have no idea what Streaming Dumbass is, explain it to me, please.
Basically, you choose 3 movies, Nick, at random, or sometimes they have a theme. You'll give out a description of this movie, kind of like what you'd find on the back of a VHS tape or a DVD. That was the inspiration behind this. And just based on that alone, you, the audience, decides which movie I watch, and then we'll give a review tomorrow.
Yeah, so how do you do this? You vote via the text line, 208-287-1003. You decide which movie you want Big J to watch by voting movie number 1, movie number 2, or movie number 3. Now, I'm not going to give you the title or the stars of the movie, at least not yet. You'll get that later on in the show. You'll have to vote based on only that plot description that is given to us by the streaming network on which you can find these movies, which is not very long. Over the years, our attention span has gone down, and so the descriptions have been briefer and briefer as we go. So if you think this movie sounds good and you want Big J to watch a good movie, you can vote for that one. If you think the movie sounds terrible and you'd like to torture Big J with a bad film, that's fine. Your motivations are your own, just as long as you text in and let us know which movie that you want Big J to see. The movie that gets the most votes is the one that Big J will watch, no questions asked. It also, the more votes we get, less likely there's a tie, and we always like when there's not a tie. Agree or disagree?
Agreed.
Here we go, Big J. Movie number 1. A couple decide to do their best and plan a weekend getaway to introduce their parents to each other, only to discover the rental home that they have booked may be just a little haunted. Movie number 2. A man is sentenced to prison for a crime he didn't commit. When joined by a wary outsider, he finds purpose in doing something he never would have done on the outside to make the time he is serving seem more purposeful. And movie number 3. Survivors are forced to find refuge in the Rocky Mountains to try and save their own lives. However, when one of them needs life-saving supplies, they risk it all to venture into the danger zone. Movie number 1, Ghost Story. Movie number 2, Stuck in Jail. Or movie number 3, Gotta Get Meds. These are your 3 choices that you have for Big J. Which movie would you like him to watch? Vote movie number 1, movie number 2, or movie number 3. by texting it to 208-287-1003. We will tabulate all the votes, and then I will tell you the name of all 3 movies, including the one that Big J will be forced to watch this very evening, coming up with important stuff. That's next on the X Rocks.
Here's traffic.
Spanning the globe in search of news.
Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Does it get any more important than wrapping up Streaming Dumbass, Big J?
No.
Have the votes been tabulated?
They sure have, man.
Is there a clear winner?
There is.
Wonderful. Let's go in descending order. What movie got the least amount of votes?
Good question. There's a tie here between the bottom 2.
Great.
Between movies number 1 and number 2.
Well, movie number 1 was called The Parenting. That is the horror comedy of the bunch. It's got Lisa Kudrow, Brian Cox in it as well. It's a brand new movie on HBO Max that people seem to like, but you'll have to watch that on your own time if you want to watch it at all.
I guess.
Movie number 2, also on Max, that is called Sing Sing. Coleman Domingo got a Best Actor nod for the movie, but you won't be watching that either if you were interested in the prison story, Sing Sing,
I
which
hate prison stories.
apparently is a very good movie, is available now on Max for you to check out. Sounds like you're going to be watching movie number 3, Big J.
Indeed.
That is a movie called Elevation. It's got Captain America in it, Anthony Mackie, and Monica Baccarin, who of course is in Deadpool, the movies in that. So you'll be watching that on Max and reporting back tomorrow and letting us know what you think of Elevation. So if you want to play the home game, that's the movie you want to watch on Max tonight. It is called Elevation. Big J will let you know what he thinks about it tomorrow for Streaming Dumbass. Big J, what's your earliest memory? Think way back in the Big J brain. What's the first thing you remember?
Coming out of the womb.
That's not true. You're a liar.
I mean, I don't know. I can't say.
You
for sure.
don't know?
Yeah, no, man.
What your earliest memory is?
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't, who does?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you remember being 11, running around in a field, right?
Sure.
Breaking a window. How old are you when you broke that window?
I mean, I don't know. I don't remember specifically how old I was. It was probably 6 or 7.
Okay. Do you remember anything before breaking that window?
Sure. But I don't remember how old I was when I have those memories. So I don't remember.
A difficult conversation to
Hey,
have.
listen, you started it, and you knew how it was going to go.
I know, but no, I don't. I mean, a lot of people do remember what their first memory is.
Not me.
I guess not. But if you don't realize why don't you remember things when you were a baby, Big J?
I have no idea.
Well, that's what
Sure,
Yale
there's a
is
reason.
trying to figure out. There's evidence pointing as to why we don't remember when we were babies. That's because, it's essentially we have underdeveloped parts of our brain that really don't allow us to develop memories at that particular point. But recent data does seem to suggest that infant brains can form memories. We just have a problem remembering it as adults. 2 potential explanations. Number 1, these early memories are not converted into long-term memories. Or we still have our infant memories, but we can't access that part of our brain, Big J. So now
do we need them?
Yale University is trying to track things down and figure out what the hell is going on if we can access our baby brain.
I just want to remember the times I spit up. I mean, what do I need my damn infant memories for?
Well, listen, man. I mean, you need earlier or later than infant memories, it sounds like. But
so far, I'm all right.
Well, I get it, but sometimes people want to think about their memories, and maybe if there's somebody that was in their life that has passed on, it'd be nice to remember them and that particular point. So it's not all stories that we want to remember rolling around a creek in Montana. There's other things that can happen, important parts of our lives in that part that maybe would be nice to access for some people. Maybe this is an option, maybe it's not, but they're going to try to see if they can't bring back memories for when we were little babies.
There might be a reason we don't remember those.
Yeah, I believe there's a lot of trauma going on in that part. I mean, everything is brand new to us. There's all sorts of poking and prodding and doctor's appointments.
A fart could be traumatizing for a baby.
Well, don't put that thought in my head.
Well, I'm just saying, these are the things that you're concerned about.
How would that be? Big J.
I remember the first time I crapped myself. How useful.
Now, there's a lot of memories you could have if you were a baby about that. I promise you. A couple times a day, really.
Yeah.
South Carolina pitcher Dylan Eskew missed the start over the weekend because of an injury caused by a teammate, Big J. Eskew was in the bullpen at an Arkansas field with his fellow pitchers during his team's batting practice. One of his teammates crushed a home run, And apparently, Dylan was not paying attention, hit him right square on the melon, Big J.
Oh, damn.
He ended up having to be placed in concussion protocol after the accident because it got him right bam. And now Big J, he, like you, doesn't remember his childhood at all. So now they got to figure that out as well. I don't know if you're interested at all, but Seth Rogen has a brand new TV series on Apple TV called The Studio that's getting really, really, really good reviews. It premieres tomorrow officially, but it's really about kind of like the backstage of putting together a bunch of different, television shows and movies for a large studio. And he is calling in a lot of favors. Everybody who's anybody is guest starring on this series. Your boy Zac Efron's in it, Olivia Wilde, Kathryn Hahn, Bryan Cranston, among others. He plays the head of a fictional film studio, and he said that he was up all hours of the night calling in favors to some of his friends to pop by and do a quick cameo or two on his brand new Apple TV Plus series. So if you're a fan of Seth Rogen, apparently it's very good. It is called The Studio. It premieres tomorrow on Apple TV, and there's a ton of stars in it, Big J.
I bet it's pretty funny.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. It is the X Rocks.
Culture Smackdown. On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
An awesome Morning After prize package here for you as we have a couple of concerts hitting the Rev Center next week. Include Machine Head on April 1st, and then on April 2nd, Under Oath. So, a hell of a couple of shows. We'll get you tickets to both of those. You just have to beat Nick in Pop Culture Smackdown.
That's quite the concert lineup for you, and it doesn't cost you a damn cent. You just have to prove that you know some pop culture stuff. So get on the phone and play. 208-287-1003. That's the number you need to call if you want to take a shot at Pop Culture Smackdown. Best of luck to everyone involved, including you, Big J. Hello, the X.
Good morning.
You there?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. Are you there?
Yes, sir, Aaron. You ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Here we go.
Doesn't get much more topical or pop culture than this. Who is the headliner for XFest 2025?
Oh.
Metallica.
God, I wish.
Wrong.
That'd be cool.
No, I'm sorry. That is incorrect. One day, maybe.
We're going to go through some numbers here.
I wouldn't hold my breath. Hello, the X.
What's going on?
Hey, man, here comes Big J with your question.
Who is the headliner for XFest 2025?
Chevelle.
There you go.
Right.
Chevelle is correct. Somebody's been paying attention today. Nick, we know the Simpsons' pet dog's name is Santa's Little Helper, but what's their cat's name?
Snowball?
Snowball is correct.
Right.
Yes. This legendary singer takes over Christmas every year with her song, All I Want for Christmas.
Ugh, Mariah Carey.
Right.
Nick, in what U.S. state was 7-Eleven created? Is it Connecticut, Texas, or Florida?
Okay, well, that wasn't neither of those three were the ones I was going to guess. So now I've got to redo it. Florida, Texas, or Connecticut? I'm going to go Connecticut.
Connecticut is not correct.
Wrong.
Born and bred in Texas,
All right.
Nick.
Right.
Now I know 7-Eleven is from Texas.
They were originally ice houses.
Is that what they were called? The
Back
Ice
in
House?
the 30s.
Oh,
no,
I
in
see.
the 30s, they were ice houses.
What did the 7-Eleven mean?
They were the first to extend their hours from 7 in the morning to 11 at night.
Got it. Look at you. And nailing the follow-up question. Congratulations, man. You got yourself all set up with Under Oath tickets as well as Machine Head tickets. Please hold on tight. We'll get some information from you and hook you up with everything that you need. It's the Morning After with Nick and Big J. We got some headlines next on the X. Headlines are as follows. Worth it? Crikey? Or found 'em?
Crikey!
Horry County Police apprehended a damn kangaroo on the loose in South Carolina,
joey?
Big J. And the marsupial had an unusual accomplice, a damn goat. Kangaroo and a goat walking down the street together, dude.
Nah.
Animal owner Lindsay Richardson said she woke up to find that her pouch potato had escaped, Big J. Her goat had managed to unlatch a gate, and that set his pet companion, the kangaroo, free. Footage shows the kangaroo owner and officer attempting to put the hopping mad animal on a leash and bringing it home, but then it started throwing haymakers, Big J. You know, kangaroos are prone to do that.
Yeah.
You better watch the hell out. It did not, it liked its taste of freedom. You know what I mean? And you better be careful when you try to cage that kangaroo again. Because now it's personal. And I don't know what the rules are in South Carolina, but apparently you can own anything anywhere. And that's why kangaroos and goats are just hanging out together and escaping together. So it's crazy.
Can't wait for that movie.
Pure chaos. Worth it or found them?
Found them.
Orlando police have finally recovered the diamond earrings that the alleged thief confessed to swallowing. If you remember the story we told you in February, that Jathan Glider was accused of attempting to steal earrings from a Tiffany & Company location. And then Glider admitted that to law enforcement that he had swallowed the diamonds. And medical scans did back up this claim. 3 diamond Tiffany & Company earrings were recovered on March 10th. And another was recovered on March 12th. Jackpot. Glider is now facing charges of robbery with a mask and grand theft in the first degree. Who do you think was on that duty, Big J, to go through Jathan's leavings?
I don't know, but they call that crap duty. With another word.
Hey, duty. And we'll wrap it up with worth it. Police say a woman who robbed a Florida Dairy Queen only made off with $1.50, Big J.
Tough times.
44-year-old Allison Fetting was booked into Broward County Jail on Friday for allegedly robbing a Dairy Queen. Fetting is accused of taking the tip jar, which contained less than $2 American. And she is now awaiting arraignment. So if you're heading to Dairy Queen with nothing but change, the chain is offering an 85-cent Blizzard deal available with a $1 purchase through the app, and they're thinking that's why the tip jar was so low, because everything was cheap. And so she decided to go. I mean, like, you have to know by looking at the tip jar, there's not a lot in there. I mean, it's not worth the risk.
It's more an FU to the people that work there.
Yeah, you didn't even hold my thing upside down. I'm taking this. And off they go. But I doubt that she would probably be willing to do that again for $1.50. Although, then again, Big J, that's a couple Blizzards, according to my math. Morning After, if they're 85 cents a piece. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Hey, there's your headlines. You're up to date on everything. Inflation domination continues. Your first keyword of the day is on the way on the X Rocks. And alive here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. It is a very big deal around the Treasure Valley. It's been going on for 36 years strong. We're talking about the Albertsons Boise Open presented by Chevron, taking place at the Hillcrest Country Club coming up this August, the 14th through the 17th. And it's an honor and privilege to have somebody in studio this morning that we've talked to on the phone before, Jeff Sanders with the Albertsons Boise Open. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Nick. BJ together here, guys. Thanks for being 17 years you've been together. You still like each other.
Yeah.
That's great.
Mostly. But it's great to see you in person. We had a chance to talk a couple of years ago about this incredible event that you guys put on every year, which is happening at the Hillcrest Country Club. And I know you said, we were talking off the air, you've been a part of every single one of these tournaments from the word go, huh?
Yeah, I'm grateful. You know what? I've been involved since day one, and I've had a lot of help. A lot of people have been on the team. 850 volunteers, all the members at the clubs. We've had a lot of help, and great sponsor, Albertsons, for all 36 years. So all the ingredients were perfect here to launch this tournament 36 years ago, and I'm so happy it's still going on.
Yeah, it's really cool that a town like Boise, gets a PGA Tour stop. I mean, that is really cool. But we were talking, Jeff, about the incredible story of this tournament when it comes to charity and how it works and how it's the only tour stop where 100% of the proceeds is going to charity. What drove that decision to do that way back when you started this?
Well, the question I was getting, we've ran, I don't know, a couple hundred golf tournaments over my time. I've been in this business 39 years around the country. And I was getting the question all the time, hey, Jeff, I see where the tournament raised this much money for charity, Where does the money go and who does it help? And it's tough to answer that question because there's so many. So we thought, let's just do this. Let's just have the tickets here in town, go to one of 40 charities, real easy. You go to the AlbertsonsBoiseOpen.com website. You decide if you want 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever number of tickets you want, and you have to select one of 40 local Boise charities for your money to go to. 100%, no commissions of any kind. Now you know where it goes, right? Because the ticket buyer gets to select. And so that question goes away. And so that's kind of how we got it going. And I think also, honestly, from a marketing standpoint, it's a great marketing tool because it people say, well, I can buy one ticket for $35. I can go watch PGA Tour level golf. I mean, Scotty Scheffler, number one player in the world, played here in 2019. Mm-hmm. We know the next Scotty is going to play probably this year. 90% of the guys on the PGA Tour played in the Albertsons Boise Open on their way through town. So, at the end of the day, you've got great golf and you've got great music and one ticket, $35, and you get to select the charity you want to go to. So it's probably the most affordable ticket in sports when there's charity involved.
Yeah.
And for what you receive in return, would be the way I kind of look at it. And, for us, we're in the entertainment business. We want to make sure everybody has fun. And I think we need more of that in our country, more entertainment, more fun. Work hard, play hard, have fun. And that's what we're trying to do here. And at the end of the day, we've given $3 million to charity the last 4 years. We hope to do it again this year and get over the $40 million mark. We really want to do that. So, and again, we've had a lot of help, believe me, a lot of help from a lot of people. Too long a list to mention. But those 850 volunteers, I think most of them are already signed up 5 months before the event, which is a record, really. Most of the time, it takes almost the full 12 months to get everybody signed up. So that means everyone's having fun, And the other thing is, at the golf, we're just anti wristbands. I call them cover charges. Once you buy your $35 ticket and give it to your favorite charity here in Boise, that's on the list, you go out to the golf course. There's 5 different hospitality venues out there. The Corona Premier Beach Club, the Albertsons Fan Pavilion, the Coors Light Fan Deck, and on and on and on, where you can go in. You don't have to pay any more money. You just go in and have a drink and have something to eat, relax, and watch golf. And so all inclusive, and I think we like that, So, yeah, it's been a great run. It's not over. We're going to have a great tournament this year, and golf by day, music by night.
Yeah, Jeff Sanders joins us in studio to talk about the Albertsons Boise Open happening in August 14th through the 17th. And you had mentioned it's about golf for sure. If you haven't been out there, you get to see an amazing tournament throughout the entire run of the Boise Open. And then at night, you guys put on a different concert every night right there off the 18th green. And you have yourself a fantastic venue and see some pretty amazing shows. And you guys have booked some great talent for this year's Open, right?
Thank you. We have, with Darius Rucker coming in, like we said, Wagon Wheel, and then followed up, by Leonard Skinner, who I started listening to back in about 1977. That makes me old. And of course, Brothers Osborne, one of my favorite bands. So, no, I think we've got 3 great bands. I think we're going to sell out. We've sold out the last 2 years. I really believe we will. So I hope everybody gets out there that wants to go and buy your tickets and have some fun.
It's important to get them while you can early on. And then again, you get to select the charity the money goes to. So it's a really cool process. Jeff, if people want to buy those tickets to any one of those 3 days or maybe even all 3-day passes, best place to do that, sir.
Go to albertsonsboiseopen.com and it's right in front of you. Buy your tickets there. And select the charity or charities you'd like your money to go to in local charities here in Boise on the drop-down menu. So it's pretty easy.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It is one of the iconic events that happen here in the Treasure Valley throughout the year. Very happy that 36 years ago, Jeff decided this would be a good place to do something like this. And the Albertsons Boise Open is going strong, and this year is going to be better than ever. So check out the website, albertsonsboiseopen.com. Grab those tickets. They went on sale at 9 o'clock this morning, so they're ready now until they sell out, and you never know when that's going to happen. So grab them early if you can and help out some great nonprofits here in the Treasure Valley while you're at it and see some great golf and some great music. Jeff, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing everybody out at the golf course in August of 2025.
Awesome. Yeah. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We got some bad impressions next on the X.
Hey, Nick. Yeah, another great Morning After prize package here as we have tickets lined up for you for next week. Machine Head, April 1st at the Revolution Concert House and Event Center. And then Under Oath, baby, on the next night, April 2nd at the Rev Center. So we'll get you set up with both the pairs of those tickets. You simply need to decode the clues for bad impressions. Pretty easy.
208-287-1003 is our phone number if you'd like to play this little goofy game we call Bad Impressions. All you need to do is figure out who Big J is trying to impersonate. Could be a person, could be a thing, could be a TV show, could be a band, could be an animal, could be an inanimate object. All these things fall into bad impressions these days. And so if you can figure out what Big J is trying to do, then boom, the prize package is yours. Big J, are you ready?
I'm ready, man.
Well, let's see him prove it. Hello, the X.
Hello?
Good morning. Hi, who's this? He's falling. Hi, are you there?
Oh, Yep.
Who is this?
Dale.
All right, Dale. You're
All
up
right,
first.
Dale Person here, okay?
Huh?
I won an Oscar starring in Dallas Buyers Club.
Matthew McConaughey.
Close.
Oh.
Comic nerds hate me, I think. My Joker didn't go over well in David Ayer's Suicide Squad, and Morbius was not great.
Oh, Jared Leto?
Yeah, there you go.
Dale, you nailed it. Good job. Hang on 1 second, brother. We'll hook you up with tickets to both Under Oath and Machine Head just for guessing Jared Leto. I'm guessing Clue 3 had to do with 30 Seconds to Mars?
Yeah, not just an actor, lead singer for 30 Seconds to Mars.
Why is little Jared Leto in the news?
Unbeknownst to him or the band or Billie Eilish, they were set up to play a show in Crimea, Russia, Nick.
That's fake.
Yeah, it is fake news. Ukraine State News Agency found an Instagram post credited to Billy's brother, Phineas, saying that she would perform as a part of a series of shows in Crimea. Eilish also has been very vocal about her support for Ukraine. Jared Leto, on the same hand, there was a fake Instagram live video from Jared Leto announcing that they would be playing in Hit Up Russia. Now, of course, there's lots more footage of Jared Leto around to put into some AI machine to make it look like him. So the danger here of AI, clear. There is no show. They are not playing in Russia by any means.
No, it was all set up to. I'm not sure what the end game is on it. Maybe to sell fake tickets, I guess, would be the thing that would make it happen. But yeah, there's been a bunch of these that have jumped up. So if you are strolling through your social media and you see an AI version of Big J announcing XFest 25 in Russia, you know it's not real.
Yeah, not Russia.
It's not happening. XFest 25 is happening here in Idaho.
Ford Idaho Center Amphitheater.
That's an X-Promise.
Yeah.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. We will wrap up the show here next on the X Rocks. Injured at... That is Wage War, that is Blur, and that is wrapping up the Morning After with Nick and Big J. A very busy Tuesday morning. Thank you all for joining us. We did have a chance to have Jeff Sanders in studio here talking a little bit about the Albertsons Boise Open coming up in August. And then a couple months after that is going to be XFest 2025. We gave you the full lineup, everything you needed to know. If you miss any of it, it's all over our socials. Go check it out so you can see exactly who's coming and when, so that we can all party it up together for the X's 30th anniversary at XFest 2025. We're very, very geeked for it, and hopefully you are as well. We also had a chance to give away some tickets to go check out Machine Head and Under Oath. That will continue tomorrow. We told you, I gave you a really great reason not to exercise, so you're welcome for that. And that leaves you with the floor, Big J.
Yeah, hey, the sun is out. It's been pretty nice the last week, really. So double check and double look your blind sides for motorcyclists. And just be careful out there. I've seen already a few accidents here in the last couple weeks. So just be careful.
Yeah, really be careful. But that does bring up a good point, Big J. Maybe you start putting together your own T-shirts and bumper stickers that say, double look your blind sides.
Yeah, double look.
Double look your blind sides, and people will be like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah,
and
think about it.
Oh, okay.
And they'll be like, oh, he means look twice.
And while they're thinking about it, they'll be running into something because they're not paying attention. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There is your big show. We will see y'all tomorrow. Jason Drew's up next. It's the X Rocks.